Hi, this is Mashnu, and here is another middle game training video. I did in the past 20 videos with middle game positions, and I decided just to do a few more now. So this is, let's say, day 21 of the middle game training. We're continuing, and in this position it's black to move, and I would like you to pause the video pause the video and think about what you would like to do with black here. What would you play? What would be your plan? What would you like to achieve in this position? Take about 10 or 15 minutes to have a good look at the position, and when you make a decision about what to move, then continue watching the video and I'll explain you how this game continued. Alright, so you can pause the video now and we'll continue in a moment. Alright, so what's happening here? Black has clearly a better position here because of the control over the C file. This C file is absolutely controlled by black. There is nothing white can do to gain control over this open file. Now the question is how to exploit this. Probably you thought about two different moves. I think those two moves are the two most important in this position. One of them is queen takes d3 and the other one is b4, and perhaps a move, more passive move like bishop to d6 would improve the position also a bit, but not really very actively. Let's have a look at b4 first. In the game, by the way, queen takes d3 was played, but let's first have a look at what happens if we play b4 here, with the idea of course of capturing on a3 and then having this weak pawn on a3 that we can attack later. Here white could take on c4, queen takes queen, and after rook takes queen then take on b4. And if we take back with the bishop, attacking the rook on d2, the rook simply moves to e2. Now the problem in this position is that it's very difficult for black to attack this b2 pawn because the white rook is on this second rank, so he is controlling the c2 square. Now if we compare this position with what happens in the game, you will understand why queen takes d3 is such a much better move. Queen takes d3, rook takes d3. Now we have the white rook not longer on the second rank. The game continued here with b4, but of course rook to c2 immediately also was possible, also a very good move. If the idea of rook to c2, by the way, is not only to attack b2, it's also to have a threat of advancing the f pawn, so the bishop can go to h4 with threats against f2. So if here, for example, b4 is played by white to save this b2 pawn, then immediately f4 is very strong, threatening bishop to h4, winning a piece here, the pinned bishop on f2. And if white tries to save this by moving his king, for example, to f1 or to g1, then we simply win a pawn on e4, right? F takes e4, take on e4, and then take on e4, and we have won a pawn. So that means that after rook to c2, b4 is not the best move. It's better for white to take actually here on d5. Take on d5, and after retaking on d5, then play b4. Because now f5 doesn't win a pawn later on e4, but still black has a better position after bishop to d6, for example, followed by bishop to f4 and perhaps bishop to c1, combining an attack against a3. But let's return to the game, because that's actually the most instructive thing here to do. Is this is the position after rook takes d3, so queen trade. Now here b4 was played by black, and after a takes b4, bishop takes b4, white took on d5. Notice that this bishop on b4 is controlling d2, so it's impossible for white to return to the second rank to defend c2 and b2. So here white took e takes d5, e takes d5, and now he moved his rook to e3 with the idea of still defending the second rank, but it's actually too late because black plays rook to c2, and here in this position white resigned. It's impossible to save this b2 pawn, and without the b2 pawn, after it falls, then the a pawn becomes a very dangerous weapon. There is no way to stop this pawn from promoting. So what happened in this game actually is that I'm going to return now to the initial position right there. What happened here is that black was very well aware of where the weaknesses were of white, this pawn on b2, and he was aware of the control of the c-file and how important it would be to be able to place a rook on the second rank to attack b2 and also this f2 bishop, and he achieved this by trading queens. Queen takes d3, rook takes d3. The first step is achieved. Now after b4, a takes b4, bishop takes b4, there is no way for white to return to the second rank, so he traded one pawn here, and after rook to e3, rook to c2 is the winning move. There is nothing white can do to defend this position. By the way, this game was played in 1960, and the player with the black pieces is Mikhail Botvinnik, the famous grandmaster, who was playing against Alfred Tarnowski in Leipzig 1960. Alright, so I hope you found this an instructive example, and I'm planning to do some more of these middle game positions because I find that this is really very useful to do. To have a look at middle game positions and try to find a correct plan. So this is actually one of the most important things in our chess practice to improve our middle game. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.